Let's say you have a Jupyter notebook file and you want to publish it to the web so that other people can access it. There's only a few simple steps to do that. First step is to take your working Jupyter notebook file, and in this example, this is using 3D scatter plots, using Plotly, some data frames, also NumPy to get some data for that. So for this notebook, we'll go ahead and go to File, Download. That will download a .ipynb, which is an interactive Python notebook file. You want to save it to a folder on your computer that's going to be helpful for you to find later. I've already saved it to a file that I already know how to get easy access to on my computer. Next, we want to make sure that we get a requirements.txt document. You can make that anywhere. You can make it in a simple text editor, which I'm going to do now. And it's really simple, this step. Basically, you need to make sure that you include all of the relevant Python libraries. Here we're using 3. We're using NumPy, Pandas, and Plotly. So all I'll do for this is literally type NumPy, Pandas, Plotly. If you do need to figure out a specific version of it, let's say, for example, we were using Plotly 2.1.1. I don't even know if that's a thing. I'm just saying, let's say as an example, you needed your program to have a specific version. You would use this syntax where you use equals equals and then the specific version number. I don't even need to put that though. So I'm literally gonna just type those 3 words. Gonna save this as, we're gonna save it as requirements.txt. So we'll save that, boom. With the requirements doc done, we're gonna go ahead and go to our GitHub profile. If you don't have one, you can make one real quick. It's very simple. We're gonna create a new public repository. I'll go ahead and call this binder_example just to make it really easy. Create repository. Next, we're gonna upload the 2 files that we have. So that's the .ipynb and then the requirements.txt file. We can go to upload an existing file and choose both of them from our folder. So we're gonna go ahead and do both of those. I'll commit the changes. It might take a second. Awesome, that's ready to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to mybinder.org. There's a few mistakes that people sometimes make here that I've definitely made in the past. So for example, one thing that someone might do is they might put the wrong link. So for example, they might end up putting a full link where really that's not what they should be doing. So if you try to do something like this, it will probably give us an error, yeah. So it's saying you can't resolve this link. What you need to do is you actually need to make sure that you're giving it the right link. This is another incorrect link that sometimes people will put. So if you put the link that it has the main at the end, that's not gonna work. So what you need to do is you wanna make sure that you're putting just the repository name after your username. So we can go ahead and do that. Next, what we wanna do is we wanna make sure that we can specify a specific file that we want it to open, which is, in our case, is our Jupyter notebook file. If you wanted to be able to give you an option to open several different Jupyter notebooks within one repository, which is possible, you can link directly to the repository link. But I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that we go ahead and go straight to that file. So I'm gonna go binder_example.ipynb and I'll click launch. This may take anywhere from 1 to 2 or 3 minutes. Potentially longer if you have a more complex file with lots of different libraries you have to import. I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit for a second and then I'll resume once we get to the launch point. Okay, it looks like it's launching pretty soon here. You'll notice that it's gonna go to that green end that says launching, and then it'll navigate to a new page. So here we're seeing that, okay, yeah, so this is working great. And the real test is not necessarily that things are loading at the first go. I think the best test is to go ahead and just restart the kernel. And once everything runs here in the web page, you know you're good to go. And this is a fully operable Jupyter notebook that you can use. You can navigate things. We can even go down here and we can see that we have a data frame here that's created. Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and zoom up. We have a data frame right here, and we can go ahead and use this just like we would a normal notebook and use this data, and we can manipulate it. We can do things like df lock. We can, let's say we want to look for any rows here that have an age over 50. We can go ahead and use all our standard pandas, formulas, functions, things like that. So here we're using lock. And you can just do all the normal things you would do with a Jupyter notebook here in Binder. Other people can access this as well. So you can go ahead and send this to people. And that'll be pretty awesome. That way other people can use it. So if you want to send it to people, the way you want to do that is we can go back to our Binder, and you can literally go ahead and copy this link. Oh, my bad. So what I did, I just went backwards until you get to the page here. Once you do that, you can copy this link right here, and then you can paste it. You can give that link to other people. That's the link that you can use to share. That way anyone on Earth can go ahead and access this. You don't need special permissions. As long as you follow these steps, that'll work. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.